Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ryan Bruce. My friends call me Fluff, and today I'm going to talk to you gigging musicians out there. Everyone that's playing shows of any shape or size, this video is for you. My band recently went over to Europe for the first time. I've talked about this in one or two other videos, and it was an amazing experience. And unfortunately, one of the things that you are faced with when traveling out of the country is, what are you going to take gear-wise? Of course, you want to take your guitars. Of course, you want to take as much stuff as possible. However, with overages and weights of things like guitar cabinets, it doesn't really make it practical to fly with all of your stuff that you are used to playing on your home turf, wherever that may be. And so typically, for most musicians traveling outside of their home country, you are going to rent and use some gear that is not yours. Now, this was the situation for me and my band. We rented guitar cabs, we rented drums, and because the airlines lost our gear for the first couple of days of the tour, our guitarist Sean didn't have any of his guitars either. So he was having to play on a borrowed guitar and or one of my guitars, which he's obviously not familiar with, etc., etc. But what I came away from that experience is something that I have talked about before and have yet to really live until recently. And that is, the audience doesn't care how you sound, as harsh as that may sound. Now, what I mean by this is, if someone is going to come to watch you, especially for the first time, in our case, the people that are coming to see our shows, they are seeing our first overseas show, and they're excited, and they know the songs, and they're happy to be there, and they want to sing along, and they want to have that show experience with you and your music and your band as a collective. And when those things balance out, it's a really wonderful thing when you get the audience energy and the interaction with the band and everyone's playing great and sounding great. But one thing that does not matter to the people that are watching your band is, your particular phaser effect that you're using on the clean tone, or the amount of reverb that is on your big guitar solo. Now, there is a threshold here. But what I have learned is, your audience will know when something sounds bad. But if it doesn't sound bad, it doesn't matter. The songs matter. The experience matters. But you sitting at home, stressing over little bits of pieces of your signal chain, at the end of the day, that doesn't matter to the people that are listening to your music. Now, I'm not saying sitting at home and preparing and mulling over the finer details of your particular guitar sound or patch isn't either necessary or fun, because there's a lot of fun to be had in sitting around and nerding out to your guitar tone. Of course, that's what we do. We're guitar players. However, when it comes to a musical context, whether you're playing at your church or in a small, sweaty club, or to 10,000 people at Download, or 15,000 people at Hellfest, those people aren't there to nitpick your guitar tone and if you're using a fractal or a helix or a real amp, or what power tubes do you have in that thing that you're using. It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. What matters is the songs and the music and the energy that you are putting out in your performance. A perfect example is, I was having some technical difficulties at our Hellfest show, which I will link down below in the description if you would like to watch it. And my situation was, I was bigfooting my patch changes and I wasn't exactly on the foot switch itself. So what was happening was, I was actually banking to basically an intro sound, which was basically an AM radio-esque guitar tone, momentarily in the context of a big chorus. And I would catch it and I would obviously hear it in my ears, and then immediately switch back over to the big the big guitar sound. Now, I was playing the right things, but my guitar tone temporarily wasn't what it should have been. And listening back, I can't even, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. But in the moment, I was super stressing that, for real. But these are the kinds of things that in the moment seem generally like a much bigger deal to you than it will anybody else. I was playing the correct things, but my sound wasn't what it should have been, as decided by me. But as the audience is just, audience is there for a good time, man. Everyone's there to have a good time. And they don't really care what cabinet you're using, what guitar you're using. All that matters is that you are playing the right thing when you're supposed to play it. That's it. That's the secret of being a great live guitarist. Just play what you're supposed to play and don't overthink it. Now, there are always guitar players that are sitting there watching you, of course. That's always a fun conversation after the show anyway. However, generally speaking, any concert goer that is there to enjoy music isn't going to care about your guitar tone, honestly, or what you're using to get your guitar tone. So take that for what it's worth. I love you all, and may you all stay healthy and have a great day. Fluff out.